Paolucci.
Okay.
I grew up in Tolland, Connecticut, and I went to the University of Hartford. I graduated with a degree in illustration, and since then I've been doing graphic design and illustration and fine art. I started this series of hands a few years ago when I looked back at my body of work, and I realized that there were hands in almost all of my pieces. No matter the medium, no matter the size, there were always hands in them. And I really enjoyed doing the hands. It was my favorite part of each of these pieces. So I decided to take the hands and make them not just a part of the story, but the whole story. So this series is all about hands that are creating. They're not just, hands playing pool or hands. They're other artists and chefs and musicians that are creating different things. I started out painting small. It was in my comfort zone. That's just how I started painting these hands, and they were all life size, and they didn't have the same kind of impact that I wanted. So I started blowing them up to this size, and it started kind of coming all together. So these are all, the series is all professional musicians and artists, and this is a professional chef. His name is Steve Hall, and he is the head chef at Carbone's Kitchen, which is in Bloomfield. It's fantastic, highly recommend it. And I've also connected with the Hartford Symphony Orchestra, and I've been doing a bunch of paintings of their hands as well. So I'm super excited that they're still here. They were on edge for a while, but they're here, so that's good. And I have a show coming up at the Hartford Public Library April 1st from 6 to 8. That's the opening. It'll be there through the middle of May. And so there you'll see, I think I have about 15 large pieces of these hands that are all creating. And then I'll have some smaller studies and some sketches and things. So yeah, that's about my series. So are there any questions?
Are they primarily from Connecticut, or?
Yes. Yeah, I started out just doing my friends' hands. I live at Art Space in Hartford, Connecticut, and a bunch of my friends are artists. So I started out with them, musicians, and so they're all local. They're all people that I know, or friends of friends. Yeah.
So much energy in there. It's beautifully done.
Thank you.
And hands are so hard to do.
I love the challenge. People say that all the time, but I love the challenge of the hands.
I admire anybody who can do hands.
Thank you.
Do you work from photographs?
I do. I do a photo shoot with them, and Steve, I went to high school with Steve, so he's a friend of mine, so I went over his house, and I said, you gotta make me something, and I'm gonna take photos of your hands. So he made me a nice risotto dish, and it was fabulous. But yeah, I take photos, a ton of photos, and I narrow it down. From there, I do sketches, and I always think that, okay, this photo is going to be the one that I'm going to paint, and then I'll sketch that, and I'm like, well, no, it's not quite right, and it's usually the second or third one that I draw that becomes the real painting. So, thank you. Very good.
Any other questions?
Yes. You said that these are hands that are making things.
Yeah.
What's the range of activities that you show?
So I have someone tying a fly, I have a potter, I have a bunch of musicians. There's a guy on an upright bass and a violin and a cello, a French horn, which was very challenging with all those tubes, a piccolo. What else do I have?
on just the big paintings?
Oh, and I'm working on a self-portrait right now. Because
Ah,
everybody always
that
asks, are you going to do a painter's hands? And I've drawn my hands more than I've drawn probably anything in my life. And so I was like, yeah, I'll do a self-portrait, but I'll save it till the end. So I'm doing a painter's hands. I did my grandmother's hands knitting,
Saxophone.
saxophone.
Mm,
Yeah, so, oh, and
what else?
I'm doing a fashion designer. He is sewing a button.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's in the works.
Ah, that's why I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Are these gonna be in the show at the library?
yes,
Oh, wonderful.
yes. Yep.
How did you get connected with the orchestra so that they would allow you to go in? I assume
It was kind of a serendipitous thing. We have open studio at Art Space every year, and somebody was looking at some of my big pieces and said, you should really talk to somebody at the HSO. Turns out there was somebody at the HSO who heard him say that. And she just happened to be a friend of a friend of mine who was also in the show. So we started talking, and she was able to get me in while they were rehearsing, which was amazing to hear them. And for Carolyn Kwan, she said, no, stop that, no, a little louder, no, a little faster. It was incredible to watch that and to be able to just like get in there with my camera and take pictures and stuff. It was very, very cool. So
Do you ever use a computer too?
I do. So when I have the photos, I bring them onto the computer and I find a good composition for them, and then I decide what size they're going to be. And sometimes I'll take the background and make it darker or make it lighter or vice versa.
You experiment with the colors?
Yeah, it's so much easier on the computer
Yeah.
to be able to do that kind of stuff.
Photoshop?
Yeah, Photoshop. Yeah. Anything else? Yes.
Is the background a stainless steel refrigerator?
No, it's all painted. It's
No,
all
I mean,
painted.
but what is in the background?
Like, is it a wall?
It's just the hallway
Oh.
heading back.
Okay.
Yeah. I just kind of painted it a grayish color to push it back a little bit. Yeah.
Those are the things.
It's like a modern kitchen. It's hard to do.
Yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.